and he takes him to this basically wall with a big door, and he does his special knock, and this angry, but
It's not a glory hole, guys. It's not
it's
a
not a
glory
glory hole. Like it's like it's like a bakery.
Hi, I'm Tommy, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho! Ha ha ha!
Welcome to Tommy Watches It, an offshoot of Tommy Likes It. I am Tommy, and this is my co-host, Ammon. So I love watching everyone's like movie reactions. I don't know if you watch movie reactions. It's so random to me to see people who have never seen Scream before watch it for the first time ever, and they're like in their 40s. It's so mind-boggling. But I tried to do movie reactions. I have 2 on my channel already, but it was so much to edit and kept getting flagged. And I'm like, when I'm watching a movie, I'll react. Like how you just fiddling with your backgrounds.
Fine. We'll go back to my living room. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Do you even play the
Yeah.
piano? You don't play the piano. That's just decoration.
Yeah, no, that's I hire somebody to do that. I'm rich.
The dog does it.
Yeah. No, we'll keep it blurred.
I think if you just randomly change it,
I'll just change it throughout the movie.
throughout the thing. When I watch a movie, I don't know. Like I'll react with friends if it's a movie, especially I've already seen or whatever. But like when I'm watching a movie I've never watched before, I'm like super, super invested. Because I'm kind of like, oh, this is really good, or this is really horrible. So I'm really, really hoping it like gets better, and it never does. It's kind of like really bad sex. You're kind of like, maybe at the end, and you're like,
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
no,
It
it doesn't. So usually on Thursday nights, I have movie night with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have pissed me off lately. Eamon is not one of them. So I was like, let's do movie reviews. And so I canceled movie nights for the foreseeable future. Also, because it's the holidays, everyone's gonna have parties. Everyone's got like partners, except for us.
Sad day.
I know.
Sad day.
No. Okay. Take it home, guys. So I'm kind of like, cool. Let's do this. Let's bring back Tommy Watches It. My tagline was always, I watch bad movies so you don't have to, but I watch good movies too. I love a good bad movie. So I let him fucking pick the movie. I let this douchebag pick the movie. And do you want to tell people what you picked and how you came to pick this movie?
So we picked Love and Gelato, and I came about this movie because I was just I literally Googled the worst movies on Netflix right now, and it came up. So I'm
I
like,
really thought you just went through Netflix and were like, that movie.
no, I Googled like the worst movies on Netflix, and that's what came up. And I'm like, yeah, and I think I picked good.
I like this movie because now we have a shared bond.
Trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding. But I was really going through like a depression spell, and I was like, you know what? My whole house was a mess. I was yelling at all my friends. I was drawing up boundaries. I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You know what? Oh shit, I gotta watch this movie, this fucking horrible movie that you picked. And I'm like, oh, I'm not in the headspace to watch a really bad Netflix Hallmark movie. Fine, I'll watch it. And I mean, dude.
And what did we learn?
What did we not to let you pick the movie ever again? I message him and then he's like, this is horrible. I go, you picked this to ourselves. And then he reversed it and goes, you did this to us. And I go, no, you picked the movie. It could have just been like let's watch a schlocky, campy horror film because those are fun. My favorite movie, Showgirls, but it's got like some redeeming qualities to it. It's aged actually kind of well, but like this, I don't know. Like I feel like we should just get into it, but I'm also like, I'm really, really excited to hear what you have to say about the last half of the movie because you had to run off to soccer practice.
Yeah, I did watch the last half, and there's more. I got more words.
This felt like a miniseries. It felt like 8 episodes of a show that just would not fucking die.
It's like if they made every early 2000s rom-com into a TV series and made you watch it all in one sitting?
I feel like someone watched Mamma Mia and Eat, Pray, Love, and they're like, you know what? Let's also throw in Under the Tuscan Sun, and just throw it together. It was every cliche. It was every trope. It was just like
all of them. It's Mamma Mia with every cliche and rom-com trope jizzed all over it. That's what it is.
Yeah, it was Mamma Mia without the music. That's
and way worse acting.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna go down the timeline. So the movie okay, for those of you who haven't been listening, because that's the majority of the people I know, like I'll talk to them and they'll be like, what movie was it? Like we already said it 3 times. Love and Gelato on Netflix. Don't watch it. Leave it to us, the professionals. We watched it. We tortured ourselves.
You're welcome.
So you don't have to. The movie opens basically with a voiceover, because that's always a good start.
Yeah. Should we apologize for just the terrible state my camera is in right now?
No,
can anyone even see me?
I can see you. I can see you. I can see you. You look great though. For how bad the camera is, you do.
It's so bad. I dug this thing up from like when I was still in college. I'm surprised it even works, honestly.
What's so funny is we've had this scheduled for 2 weeks to film, and he goes, "Wait, do I need to be on camera?" And I was like, "That's how you know we're men." We waited till like the last hour to be like, we'll work it out. I think
it's fine. It's fine. I'll get a better one for the next one.
Yeah,
no. Very ghostly though, and very white.
Yeah, which is so funny because you're not. You kind of have like a light Middle Eastern look in some of your photos.
Yeah, I'm ethnically ambiguous, is what we say.
I love that so much. Ethnically ambiguous, just kind of like, oh, okay, we don't know what you are, but we can cast you in a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. I probably could have been casted in this movie.
You would have.
I would have been a better casting than most of the people in this movie.
You would have been a more convincing Italian than all of the Italian actors in this film. Because if you didn't know or weren't listening, it's Love and Gelato, which means takes place supposedly in Italy. I wanted to kind of like look into some of the actors and whatnot, because I don't recognize anyone. I just feel like they're wish versions of other actors, and we'll get into that.
Yes.
But I didn't want to look into anyone's backgrounds because I was like really afraid I'd find like an actor who was really bad in this movie and look at their background and be like, they became an actor when their mother died of cancer and they took care of their siblings. And then I'm like, well, now I can't make fun of their acting because now I feel like an asshole. So now I could be like, well, I don't know anything about them. So if someone goes, that actor, came back from paralysis to live out his dream, what have you done? I could be like, wow, I'm an asshole and I'm sorry.
I'd still make fun of them. Fuck it.
You know what? I don't feel bad. They got paid. They got paid to make this trash, and they have IMDb credits, and I was in Planet 9 from Me Outer Space. So honestly, they're doing better than me. That's fine. I think it's on Amazon. I had a great time filming it, and that's not sarcasm. I had a blast filming it. It was a cat version of Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space, and they wanted a wrestler to play the role that was played by Tor Johnson, who was a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was his name, Tor Johnson. It's some big, bald Swedish wrestler. And he becomes a zombie,
obviously.
Yeah. And so, like, they wanted me to do that. And they basically found me on the internet and were like, Tommy Purr, cat. He's going to be playing Cat Monster. He's a wrestler. I think it was the Radioactive Chicken Heads who told them to find me because I had worked with them on a wrestling show. And I had a blast. And it was amazing. But listen, I'm not gonna win any fucking Oscars. That's for sure.
But hey, you were on a movie. Too bad you didn't get credit for it.
I think I did get. I think someone tried to like pull on I Know What You Did Last Summer with me. Mm-hmm. They like found the movie and they screenshotted it. It was from an account I don't know. And they're like, "Is this you?" And I was like. Like they found my snuff film, and then I was like, "Oh my god, you know me? That's great."
It's like that scene in How I Met Your Mother when they find it, where everyone thought she was in a porno.
Yes,
and it was like a kid movie.
I was a diva on that set too because they're like, the character when the character I was parodying had a bald head. So they wanted me to wear a bald cap after I became the monster. And I was like, no, I am not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Have you seen his hair?
Yeah, this hair and my head, I do not look good bald. Okay. They were like, you've got to do, they would not budge. Tom, the director, he also played like the lead cat monster that was based off of Vincent Price. Was it Vincent Price? Yeah. And I was kind of like, oh, fine, Tom, give it to me. So we're in someone's yard in fucking California, and I put this bald cap on. We have no mirrors. And I'm like, just give me the makeup brush. And like, I just start drawing like, you know, all my cat makeup, because like it was an indie film. And somehow I did a great job, and they're all like watching me as I'm like doing my cat thing. God, I'm such a loser. And
I'm so turned on right now.
Huh?
I'm so turned on right now.
You went from 6 to midnight. I was like, oh my God. And then I have photos. I got to send them to you. But they're all like watching me, and I'm used to a wrestling crowd. If there's no reaction, it's bad. And they're like watching me like I'm doing a character study into like playing this cat monster. And they were like, we stopped filming, and like people are like, that was really good. And I'm like, I feel so stupid right now. But it awesome. It was cool. Like we discussed doing a cat version of Beetlejuice, and I was like, if you do it, I will come back. But my only request is I want to be a gay version of Delia. That's all. Like if we're doing that, or Miss Argentina, I don't want to be Otho.
That would be amazing.
I know. I'm still waiting. I'm still friends with everyone who did the movie. We had a really, really great time. But it was just so funny. And my director, Tom, looks like Evan Peters, which was so funny because WandaVision was going on.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, because I was watching it in my Airbnb. So it was a very interesting thing filming that. It was so funny. But anyways, I'm sorry, guys. We want a bit of a tangent there. We think we should get into it. Yeah, I mean, my friends can wait. I got nowhere to be for an hour. So
I got fuck all to do tonight too. So
I know, right? We planned for this. It's okay.
Yeah,
we didn't come here to talk about my bad film. We came to talk about not Anne Hathaway's bad film, because the main actress in this, I don't know her name and I don't care, plays Lena. She plays Lena, and it was like the director was like, I want Anne Hathaway from Princess Diaries, but Anne Hathaway is Anne Hathaway, and she don't look like that. So they got Jan Mathaway to play Lena. And I mean, she's supposed to be an 18-year-old, just graduated high school. Her mom just died of cancer. Like we opened on the funeral. And she's like, her mom wanted Fleetwood Mac to play at the funeral, which, you know what? I love Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. That's fine. I was kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of vibing. All right. Okay. But no, they had a Fleetwood Mac cover singer named Fleetwood Zach, who comes back from one more scene in this movie. And it's just kind of like, that's all you get. It's just so he can sing Tell Me Lies, because someone is found out to be a liar. It wasn't needed, but okay. So she opens with a voiceover, and there's like, you know, there's a montage scene, and she goes, my mother once told me of a phrase in Italy, you never forget your first love. And I was so irritated, Amen. I was like, bitch, everyone knows that line. That's not just an Italian line. I was so mad, and I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. I can't believe he picked this movie. What did I do to him? Like, I'm never hitting on this man ever again. You know, no more Brokeback Mountain memes for you, Amen. Okay? Damn it. I know, right? I can quit. I can quit you, and I will after this movie. Her mom dies. We meet her friend Addie, this cute little sassy black girl who's like, girl, you need to go on this trip to Italy because you're supposed to go with your mom, and she wanted you to go. And so Lena decides to go. She's like, ugh, but I won't have a good time. She's supposed to be 18, but she looks like she's been paying a mortgage for like 10 years.
Right? Like, I'm not going to have a good time in Italy where I have zero fucking responsibilities to do anything but just have fun. Fuck you. I was so mad.
Were you thinking, are you that type of person who watches a movie and you're like, who's paying for this? Like, okay, your mom just died. there's clearly no father in the picture. We will get to that plot line. But like, is the house being sold? Are you renting? Are you going to get roommates now?
Yeah. Like, where'd the money come from for all this?
Right? Like, I'm just kind of like, if my mom died, oh my God, I don't even want to think about that. But if my mom died, I'd be like, what are we doing with her dogs? I got to get all her candle shit out of her like workshop. I got to tell all her clients. I can't go to Italy right now. My mom would fucking kill me. The movie would be over. It'd be just love and depression, not gelato. So she goes to Italy. And then we meet our first Italian stereotype, which is fine because we don't get any other real Italians, I feel, throughout this entire movie. Francesca, her Italian godmother. And it was just like...
I mean, to her credit, she was the only like act one trying to be Italian in this movie.
Yeah, but of course...
The problem is, she looked like Italian Cruella de Vil, and she had a smile like those giants in Attack on Titan. She's terrifying. I'm sorry. She's absolutely terrifying.
And of course, she lives up to that stereotype. She's like the fashionista. So she's supposed to be like a hot Italian grandmother, and she's fiery and sassy and rich. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. We'll go with it. I
mean, I would have swiped right. I'm not knocking her, but
I would have swiped right too. It was very, she was like someone tried to draw Monica Bellucci from memory. And because they're a fifth grader, you're like, that was pretty good. It wasn't the best, but I'll take it, you know?
I've seen
it's like getting a bootleg from Shein or from
yeah.
You're like, okay, it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I got a Teenage Mutant Shadow Turtle. I'll take it. It's still cool. That's fine. So they go somewhere, and Francesca introduces not Anne Hathaway to Francesca's cousin Howie, who she goes, oh, my Irish cousin.
Right? Now, don't get me wrong. My background is Irish Italian. That's my ancestry. So, like, I guess it makes sense, but what the hell is an Irish person doing in Italy?
Well, okay.
The second worst Italian in the movie.
I'll say this. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm going to defend this movie. They do explain the mother set everything up for Lena to go on this trip. Because, you know, when you're dying of cancer throughout your whole child's 4 years of high school, you would use that time to bond with your child, to tell them about how they were conceived, where their father is, the diary that you kept hidden. Like, Lena knows nothing about her mom. Like, I know, like, when my mom stopped doing cocaine back in the 80s. Okay? That's how close I am with my mother. And Lena's just like, she never told me any of this. I go, did you even fucking ask? Did you even talk to your mom? You just went to chemo and sat next to her? Never thought to go, who's my father? Hey, have you ever been to, like, I don't know, Italy? Like, her mom died and probably deserved it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, what a horrible mother never to, like, tell your daughter anything interesting about yourself. So we meet Howie, who's Irish. I don't know why it was important he be Irish. Why not just get an Italian? Okay. And good-looking guy, but it was kind of, okay, Ammon, I'm going to ask you, like, I was kind of worried that they were going to, because, like, he seemed really invested in her, and I know that, spoiler alert, the red herring here is we're supposed to think that this is her father. That from it's not, spoiler alert, which I'm like, sometimes the obvious choice is just the right one. Just go with it. Why did we have to take another detour? But, like, were you getting the vibe that maybe he was into Lena a little bit?
A little bit.
A
little bit. Like, you're a little bit too invested in this.
Especially when she was eating that weird phallic-like pastry, and her eyes. This girl, not Anne Hathaway, acts a lot with her face, which is fine, but it's always when she's eating. So everything's like eyes crossed when she's eating spaghetti. Like, this is so good. And then she's just like, orgasmic with this pastry that's filled with cream. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, there's no innuendo there. None.
No, yeah. I was like, is this a Harvey Weinstein movie? What's going on? So what are you drinking, by the way?
tequila soda.
Oh, okay. It's super white in the video, so it looks like you are drinking milk. It's so funny.
God damn. I'll get a better camera for the next one.
No, I love this though.
It's so bad.
I think it's amazing. Everyone's gonna be like, "You're Italian Irish." I promise you, his shade
No.
of skin is a little bit darker. The
I
camera's
died.
super
I
white.
died. I'm actually an Italian Irish ghost.
An Italian Irish ghost. It's amazing. Again, you'd still be better than 75% of the cast. So they go to this mixer and they meet what was his name?
Italian Screech.
Yeah, I called him Italian Screech.
Lorenzo,
thank you.
But I looked up, so like he looks terrible in that movie. But if you look him up like on IMDb, he actually is a mildly attractive individual.
Well, towards the end of the movie, like he has somewhat of a glow up. I think it's because like, look, now he's like happy and confident with himself. So I get it. But I was just like, oh, it's Italian Screech. Because it was just the hair.
Yes.
It was so we meet him, and apparently Howie has a vested interest in this kid's like culinary career. I'm like, who gives a fuck? And then we follow Lena, who goes to the temple ruins or the gladiator. I don't know.
Right? Like this random ruins at this mixer. Like, okay.
Your mother loved to walk the ruins. Walk in her footsteps. I'm like, this is so weird. Like, it's not like her mom discovered the moon. Like, walk in her footsteps. Great. So I'm gonna walk through the ruins of Italy. I'm gonna get pregnant by some guy who ignores me, and then I'm gonna die 20 years later of cancer. I can't wait.
I can't wait. I mean, sound like some pretty good retirement plans, if I'm being honest. But
yeah, life is too long. Why drag it out?
Maybe that was the point of the movie.
Oh,
they just gave us the point right up front.
Oh, end of movie, title card, Love and Gelato. Which, by the way, we don't get Gelato for, I thought it was 40 minutes. Did you say it was an hour?
I was like, it's like 45 minutes to an hour in. We don't get any Gelato until like an hour in.
No one mentions Gelato. We don't see Gelato. I was like, where's the Gelato? I was like, this is bullshit, dude.
Even the ending, there's no fucking Gelato.
No.
We get one scene of Gelato the entire goddamn movie. And the whole book and movie is named after two things, and we only get like a little bit of both.
It's Salem's Lot, but without the lot. It's just Could you imagine Sex in the City, but it's just and the city? There's no sex.
It's just the city. Yeah.
Just the city. So Lena's walking through the ruins of Italy because that's just what you do in her MIT sweater, because we have to hammer home the fact that she has no friends other than Addie back home, who I would have loved to have seen Addie in this storyline rather than this boring, I'm such a wallflower girl. She's in her MIT sweater, and because we need to know that she has no life and she's boring, which I think is kind of an insult to MIT people, but okay, whatever. And then she meets, Ammon calls him Italian. Go ahead.
It was Italian. Oh, fuck. No, I forgot it. It was Italian. Fuck. Who's that guy? And all
look at our messages. What was it? Italian. It was, because I went.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Yes, Italian Freddie Prinze Jr. Because with all the rom-com tropes, that's what it was. Like, he's the Freddie Prinze Jr. and he's the rich, sexy guy who's gonna, bring out her spark.
Yeah, take off her glasses, get her out of her
take off her glasses.
I was like, Ammon's like Italian Freddie Prinze Jr. And I was like, isn't Freddie Prinze Jr. Italian? So would it just be?
He was less Italian than Freddie Prinze Jr.
So we meet Italian Freddie Prinze Jr., who is like blonde and blue-eyed, and I'm like, you don't look Italian. He looks like Swedish or Norwegian, or
the actor actually is an Italian actor.
Oh my! Of course he is, and I knew that was going to happen to him. Like, these fucking Italians don't look Italian, and then it's like, no, they are Italian. I'm like, really?
his Vanity Fair shot might make me a little bit gay.
Only a little bit. I think you're already a little bit gay, so it might make you a little.
I mean, I was in the army. We're all a little bit gay. It's fine.
You're around me, like the blast radius alone depletes your heterosexuality by 25%.
Exactly. Fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, but what's the accent was just so like, I don't know if it was the accent or the fact that he is not a good actor. I was like,
It's he's an Italian speaking English, trying to speak English in an Italian accent. But it's like, dude, just speak like English. You'll do it. You don't need to act this out. You're just gonna do it naturally.
you know what? He probably owed someone a favor, like the boy grip or the PA on set. He's like, man, we need someone to play this role, and he's like, fine. Like he's that
Fine,
kid
I'll
that
do
got,
it.
what?
He's
Yeah.
like, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah, he got roped into this because it was a school project, and it's like 15% of his grade. So, and it's like, and his father looks nothing like him. Like his father looks.
Zero.
I'm like, I would like to see the mother, please. Like, please tell me that he got all the genes from her because this is so weird. And he had more sexual chemistry with the guy playing his father than he did Lena.
Yeah, yeah, right? Like I picked up on that too. I'm like, there's like a daddy dom situation here. Like the dad takes off this belt and he gets a little bit like excited.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was creepy.
Yeah, Alessandro, Italian Freddie Prinze meets not Anne Hathaway, and he's like, we should meet, we should get together, but they don't exchange numbers. And then the next time she hears from him, they make a big deal about she has no social media, and because she's such a wallflower, she's Lena, and all she cared about was her mom, and she doesn't believe in social media. Well, her friend Addie is like an aspiring influencer brand ambassador and makes her a social media and photoshops her into everything. And Alessandro finds this profile, kind of creepy, and messages said profile, talks to her friend, who he thinks is Lena, and gets her phone number, and then calls her to invite her out. And this is after Francesca bequeaths Lena's dead mother's diary that she kept while she was in Italy to Lena. So if you're following along here, we now have the supposed father plot line. We've now got the love plot line. We've got Howie's bullshit that he's in culinary school and no one gives a fuck. And then we've got not Howie, Lorenzo, sorry.
Yeah.
And we got the diary, not of Anne Frank, but of Hadley the mother. I'm like, Hadley? Jesus Christ. Here we go. It couldn't be like Lisa or Beth. It's like, no, her mom's name's Hadley, and she was a photographer at some point, but she never told her daughter. Again, I'm just so frustrated. So she agrees to meet up with this blonde dude, and he's got a weird thing with his dad where they set up the fact that Alessandro is supposed to come to the States to go to Harvard Business School, work in finance.
Yeah.
Oh, this could work out when she goes to MIT and he goes to Harvard. They can be together, right? But that's not even what happens, so it doesn't go anywhere. But they go to the opera. She gets invited to the opera. And I'm sorry, guys, there is so much shit going on that it's like, what are we watching here? The director was like, I want to make all kinds of movies. Let's put them into one.
So it's like, it's a dinner party, but then there's also like an opera. And then there's also like this whole James Bond security, like, we're going to run into the mainframe kind of thing going on. And like, what fucking opera house looks like that?
Yeah, he's not kidding. There's like it looks like something out of a heist movie or a really fancy perfume commercial.
That's what this whole thing should have been. It just should have been a fucking... It would have made more sense doing that than most perfume commercials. Have you seen them? Like,
yeah. I'm like, okay, so he pulls her out of the opera, and you're like, oh, they're gonna go fuck, right? No, they're first off, like, of course,
they played tag. They play fucking tag.
They play tag in the mainframe of the opera house
that has plainclothes armed security.
Yeah. It was
all these security dudes running around in tuxes, and I'm like,
yeah.
This place had more security than like most military bases. Like, it was insane. Like, is the president here? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, this had more security than than a political rally. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was like, okay. And of course, when she gets invited to the opera thingy, of course, we now get the montage of she's gonna learn how to walk in heels from Francesca. They get the beautiful girl montage.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then did you see this? Okay, because you're mostly heterosexual. Um I noticed this and I was like, I'm gonna bring this up because I know Ammon's not going to. So like Francesca's having her walk in like these like come fuck me stiletto heels, right? And she's like, you need to walk with passion and you need to like, be sexy
With your hips.
with your hips,
Yeah.
And she's walking and Lena walks like, a baby giraffe that just dropped 8 feet out of the sky from her mother's womb.
Mm-hmm.
And but in the actual opera house, she's wearing the chunkiest, lowest heels, chasing this blonde little twink through the mainframe.
Little twink.
She towers over him. And I like tall women, even though I'm gay.
Yeah.
I like a tall woman. Like, she's not ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but she's styled really horribly throughout this whole movie. But they've got her like, I just want to say this. If you're going to the opera house in Italy, the side ponytail and then like tangling it all up was not the right look. Like, it was like, you should just put a scrunchie in your hair, called it a day. And I don't think she was, they were boobs. She wearing a bra? Because everything was very noticeably bigger up here. And I'm like, the MIT sweater didn't show all that. I mean, this girl was like running in an evening gown. And I'm like, oh man.
There was some bounciness.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It was great. I was like, girl, you need some support. Like, I go, your back looks like it really hurts now running.
Was this a Harvey Weinstein film? The more we talk about it, the more
well,
it's adding up.
We didn't really see a whole. Oh wait, no, that's a Quentin Tarantino film. I was gonna say we haven't seen a lot of feet. But
that's Quentin Tarantino.
If it was Quentin Tarantino, there'd be a lot of feet. But anyways, like security takes Alessandro away because, and then his dad.
The disappointing look from his dad.
Yeah. Basically says you're not going to remember this girl tomorrow morning. She's all upset. And then she like goes to leave and then she runs into who? Italian Screech. Lorenzo is catering the event and they smash a dessert into her ample cleavage and all up and down her sequin dress. And so she gets a ride from Lorenzo, who just, I guess, leaves his shift. Like,
yeah, on his scooter, on his Vespa.
And she's like, and now these things are dangerous. I'm like, it's a fucking Vespa. Calm down. Like,
what was that?
Here's my phone. Sorry. My battery is dying, like on my body. I gotta.
Oh, no.
No, it's the Italian guards. They're coming to get me.
Oh, great.
No, it was just a message because no one talks to me unless I'm filming, of course. Well, hold on and see if it's anything funny. No. Anyways. So she rides, like, he just leaves his shift with Lena, and she's all like, it's a moped or Vespa or whatever.
They're so dangerous.
Do you want to talk about the next scene, the secret bakery?
I kind of like this scene, though.
I love this scene because I love this woman.
Yeah, so she's freaking out. They got on the Vespa. They drive 11 miles per hour. Or I'm sorry, what do they use in Italy? Kilometers? They drive 14 kilometers per hour, and he takes them to this basically wall with a big door, and he does his special knock, and this angry.
It's not a glory hole, guys. It's not
a glory hole. Like it's like a bakery. So like, and he's being charming and nice, and it's cute. There's nothing wrong with this scene, but it's Italian Screech and not Anne Hathaway. But so he knocks, and this old lady with the giant fucking roller, the quintessential like Italian grandma, like, what do you want? It's like, and then it's like, oh, Lorenzo, mwah, 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 kisses. He gives him a bag of some unknown substance, and it was like, cool, that's it, and they fuck off, and then they go and eat these cream-filled pastries, which are very cream-filled.
Very cream. It looked like a hoagie with just buttercream stuffed into it, and I'm like,
Mhm. Mhm. And full disclosure, I was a little bit high for the scene, and I really wanted pastries. Like, I really, really wanted pastries because of the scene.
That's funny because I was not high, but I was depressed, and I was like, I wish I was cream filled right now. And then like they're like what, eating in a park, like on a bench at nighttime, and there's like a bunch of stray cats around them.
Yeah. So all of a sudden they're in Greece, and it, Santorini, Greece, and there's a bunch of stray cats.
Yeah. Eat, pray,
I don't
love.
know. Maybe there's lots of stray cats in Rome. We don't know. I've never been.
I've never been either. I wanted to look up to see if this was actually filmed in Italy, and I was like, this is a Netflix thing. It's probably filmed in like Nebraska, and they're like, just shoot from over here. We can make this field look like Italy. But what was the next scene? I can't. All we need to know is that again they still. Oh, now we've introduced another layer to Hadley, dead cancer mom. And it's Howie goes. Francesca and Lena visit Howie at his, I think he's a professor. I don't know. And he's got Hadley's old vintage camera because she used to take photos in Italy. And all these photos are framed in Lena's house. And she's like, I never knew. My mom never told me she took these photos. And I'm like, I know moms. Listen, she probably did tell you. You just probably weren't fucking listening because you're a dumb kid, you know?
Yeah.
And you never thought to like ask where this photo come from, like this is just so weird to me. Like, okay, did she just give up photography altogether? It's just so random. So
well, that's what you do. That's what you do when you get. Oh wait, I can't reveal that yet. Never mind.
You can't what?
I can't reveal that yet. Spoilers. But that's what you do when this not cancer but kind of cancer thing comes up.
Okay, yeah. But so now like Lena's now gonna go around because she's gonna go take photos. And I'm like, okay, another plot that we are just gonna leave here while she discovers herself and her mother. And then she meets, oh, okay. This is what I'm gonna title the episode.
Oh wait.
No, yeah, this is the scene that you were talking about.
That Lorenzo takes her home,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this weird thing where Italian Screech and Italian Freddie Prinze Jr. know each other, and there's a lot of sexual chemistry. There's a lot of tension.
Everyone has sexual chemistry with each other when they're supposed to have it with Lena. That's so funny. She has more sexual chemistry with her Italian godmother and the guy that is not her father, that were allegedly could be her father.
Right.
Both of her love interests. We don't know what their deal is. They kind of edge us. They like literally stroke the tip and just edge us for like an hour to figure out why these two hate each other. It should be obvious to me. I was like, oh, he's rich, he's poor, the end. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Right.
And he's like, these two fucked. Like, he's messaging me while watching the movie. He's like, these two totally fucked. And I'm like, I wish, like, could you imagine? Like, so much. Could you imagine what her facial expression would have been? He'd be like, once he stuck the tip in my asshole. And then I was like, are you going to call me the next morning? And he was like, no. And it disappeared into a cloud of smoke. I don't know. I'm just like, and then he had me chase him to the opera house.
It was at this point that I was like, if she doesn't get her magical threesome, I hate this movie.
She didn't.
Which is fine. It's fine.
No, spoiler alert, this bitch doesn't have sex at all. How do you go to Italy and not get laid? I'm just saying. But anywho, the scene I was going to refer to was one that you talked about. I wanted to call this episode Bitches Love Waterfalls. She goes to Alessandro's house and he's like, pick a car, any car. They're my father's. We'll use it for the day. And then he takes her to the most shallow looking waterfall I've ever met in my life.
You're going to break your spine. It's fine.
Yeah. Or you're going to hit the bottom and get stuck in the dirt and drown.
Yes.
but they jump off this waterfall, and he's like, I have feelings for you. And she's like, I have feelings for you, but I'm scared or whatever. And then he says it again. Then she kisses him. And then
They kind of full on made out.
Oh yeah. It was a full on.
Full on. Like, he copped a feel, too.
Oh, well, hello. Like, her chesticles were just, if you thought the evening gown, if you thought the evening gown, she had the buoyancy, like, girl, this is not a bad looking actress. I want to say she is just acting the part she was given. I get it. She probably was like, listen, I need to pay rent. I guess I'll play this fucking part. This character's stupid. I'll do my best.
She is, the actress is only 23 years old.
Why does she look older? Like, it's got to be the styling. It's got to be the styling.
Yeah.
It made her look older. Because she's not an ugly girl by any means.
No.
So she's like, I guess they're a couple now. She calls her friend who's shacking up with Fleetwood Zach.
Yeah, which is the only, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait, we didn't know that yet. We didn't, because she was on the surfboard or whatever.
Oh, yeah. She calls Addie, who's like taking photos, and she's like, are you with Fleetwood Zach? And like, he's like, hi there. And like, they're FaceTiming, and Addie does what I would do. She's like, let me check out his social media. Bitch, why does he have no photos of you? Look, he's at this restaurant. I'm going to click this hashtag. Who else is at this restaurant? This, like, Addie, we needed Addie through the whole movie to move the plot along. Because she finds out that Alessandro is with some random blonde girl at this restaurant called Parmigiana.
Yeah. It was super high end.
Super high end. I'm like, really? Okay. Wow. That's the best that we could come up with, apparently.
Yes. And we never see this woman again.
Oh yeah. We never see her. You explain the scene. You talk about Lena storming in.
Okay, so Lena comes into this restaurant when they're on this patio, and typical gorgeous Italian background, and Italian Freddie Prinze is flirting it up with this woman who is noticeably more attractive than the main character, and Lena is upset and was like, oh, your dad. She's basically said your dad was right. Like, I was just another one of those girls, and you're not going to remember my name, and blah blah blah, and gets mad and like storms out. And that's what I remember of that scene. And I'm just,
why are you such a piece of shit, Alessandro?
Yo, yeah, that's right. But that's it. That's all we get. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Which leads us to believe that she is there to like have a little like slap and tickle with Alessandro, because she doesn't go, I'm just a friend or whatever. So I'm kind of like, okay, so he's a piece of shit. Hopefully that's the end. No, it's not the end. I will say I laughed at this next scene. This actress does a really, really good job. She's reading her mom's diary, and she's voiceovering for her mother, which I really feel like the mom should have been voiceovering for it. But she's reading it, and the mom's the diary voiceover is like, oh, he said that he loves me and I feel the love. And Lena is just having wine and eating in public at the restaurant. She's like, good for you, Mom. And I'm just and there's like people watching her, and she's just like mowing food and wine. She's like, he's a liar. And I was dying. I was like, this is great. And then she goes back to Secret Bakery and Secret Grandma. And she's like crying, and she's like, and the secret grandma's like, what the fuck's going on? She's just like, your pastries, they don't lie, and they don't tell you they like you, and then go have drinks with someone else. And I was really embarrassed and cringing because I have done this whole monologue. It was not to an Italian grandmother, not mine especially, but it was at a Cold Stone Creamery. That is a whole
yes, that's even better.
Yeah, and she's just like, it doesn't lie. And then Grandma just goes, that's because my pastry doesn't have a penis. And then she like tosses the pastry at the girl in the bag and slams the door. And then her not dad Howie finds her, and they're sharing a pastry, and just really like she's got cream all over her face, and he's looking at her lovingly, and it's supposed to look like, oh, I might be your father look, but it's more like a, wow, that cream on your lip looks real good, Lena look. And I'm just like,
right? That whole part was creepy. That was creepy.
But at that point, I'm like, if this gets Freddie Prinze off of my screen, fuck your mom's ex-boyfriend. That fine. Do it. Is he grooming her to take her mom's place? Like, walk the path that she walked. Here's her camera.
Like, I feel like that would have been a better plot.
And then, like, the last half hour should have been, turns out he's a serial killer.
Yes.
You know, I would have been like, you know what? Amen. Great. I can't pick a better movie. Like Love and Gelato, it's really a horror film.
Like that. Like if A24 did it, it would. That's the way it would have gone. That's the way it would have gone. Like A24 needs to remake this movie today, and it will be amazing.
It still reminds me of like the greatest twist ever. How old are you again, Eamon? You're only like a year younger than me?
Yeah, I'm 39. So
okay, I'm 39 in January, so we're the same age. But like when I was younger and my parents rented From Dusk Till Dawn, and none of us knew it was a vampire movie. And because my mom was like, I love George Clooney, and my stepfather was like, oh, Quentin Tarantino, it's gonna be like Desperado, right? It's got guns, and for some reason they still let us watch it. I was like, what, 10 or 11?
God, that is not a child's movie.
I know. And so we're watching the movie, and as soon as they just lock the door, and the naked stripper just goes, dinner is served, and it's all vampires. I just remember my hillbilly stepfather, what the fuck? And all the chaos. I was like, yeah, it's a horror movie. This is great. I go, that would have been a great plot twist if it turned out he was like trying to groom her to be her mother, and her mother didn't die of cancer, but he had her killed, and now he was going to kill Lena, and like everyone was in on it, but no, it was boring. It was boring.
Mm-hmm.
So Howie takes her home, and she's all like heartbroken and sad, and this is kind of where like the sequence of events get very fuzzy for me, because like, oh no, she starts reading the journal, and it gets to the part where her mother discovers that she's pregnant while with Lena.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And like it's like a big deal, and then we kind of find out like the dad is not. Yeah, not in the picture.
The seventh plot line.
Yes.
Francesca sees the diary, and she sees it. It says, I'm pregnant. And then it talks about how like Howie came to her and said, I don't care if I'm sorry, I freaked out. I'm going to be with you regardless of what's going on with the baby. So we're led to believe that Howie's a dad. And then they're going to go to this lunch at someone's house. I don't know who they are. I don't care. It's a pair of lesbians and one of the lesbians' parents who are really old. And so they go to the country to have this lesbian brunch, and they're talking in Italian and English, but not very quietly, about how like, Howie, you need to tell her. And he's like, tell her what? And then like Lena can hear everything. It's just really bad. And there's a goat.
Mm-hmm. There's a goat. Yep. Oh. And we're getting to my favorite character. That didn't matter.
They almost run over the goat. The goat lives. And now I'll let Ammon take it from here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they go to this lunch, and lesbian brunch, and the person who's cooking the brunch is the Italian Screech, because he's getting ready to do his culinary test, obviously. And we have Italian great grandma who's helping make the gelato. We are an hour in, folks, and this is the only fucking scene with any gelato. And Screech takes it out of the freezer, and he's like, "Yo, you got to mix it so it doesn't crystallize or some bullshit. I don't know." And they're mixing it
with passion.
And then, with passion. Yes, with passion. And there's only 5 ingredients, but we only learned 4 of them because there's a 5th ingredient that's secret. Fucking, this part made me so goddamn mad.
He messages me, and I'm picturing Eamon just half naked, getting ready for soccer practice, which, I mean, I do that every other day. But I'm picturing him messaging me, like, just in the soccer shorts and, like, the cleats. And being like...
the cleats, yeah. Walking around my house with cleats, yep.
Yeah, with cleats and soccer shorts, being like, it's either love or come. as
It's either love or cum. Yeah.
And I was like, it's got to be cum. That's why you don't want to like let it sit. It's just gonna get like.
Oh, that's right. I said that. I was like,
yeah, you said that. Yeah, I was dying.
The fifth ingredient is either love or cum.
I was on the bus. Oh my! I was fucking cracking up. I was like, oh my god, save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast.
So they have like Italian Screech and our main character who no one wants or asked for. They're having a moment, and the little grandma's like, "Oh, like yeah, I did this. Like this is cool. Still got it." Like, and they have a little moment, and then the most useless fucking character on the planet shows up, and it is apparently Italian Screech's girlfriend, who has pink hair and is a motocross person for whatever reason.
Looks like the singer from Paramore.
Yes, looks like the singer from Paramore. And to be fair, she's probably the most attractive woman we've seen this entire time. But what was the point of it? Why was she here?
For conflict, because we need to pad out the runtime to another fucking hour.
Like, whatever. Anyway, so now Lena's mad because not mad, but she's upset because the rich Italian Freddie Prinze Jr. is a scumbag. Italian Screech has a girlfriend who can kick her ass, and she's still trying to figure out who her father is. Oh, and she has a vague idea that the Italian Irish guy is her father, because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So they all sit down for lesbian brunch because it's Lorenzo's family. His moms are lesbians. Which, I mean, obviously their house was amazing. So of course they're lesbians. So they sit down, and motocross girlfriend Paramore singer is named Georgina, which I was like, okay. Again, not sure why she's here, but they sit down and we get more like Lorenzo's about to have his culinary test at like some prestigious institute or whatever in Florence very soon. This comes into play later. And his mom is just boasting about him, like, oh, he's gonna open his own restaurant called Contrario. And I'm like, oh my, I called it.
Because he does everything backwards.
Right. He's gonna serve dessert first, then the main course, then appetizers. And I just was like, fuck me. Really? Like, that's innovative. I'll tell you what's innovative. There's a restaurant down the street, Ammon. You got to come to Vegas, and we just got to go. It literally just says appetizers. That's all it says. Appetizers. I come to find out that's the name of the restaurant, and all they serve is appetizers. I went, what the fuck is this? I like
appetizers. Let's go.
I know. I was like, is that just the name? Like, I think that's kind of great. We just have appetizers. Well, do you have gelato? We just have appetizers.
Gelato could be an appetizer.
Especially if you're serving it backwards.
Actually, speaking of, we're going to divert here for a second. Speaking of good food, and speaking of Italian food, have you been to Esther's Kitchen?
Oh, God. You just like, I'm getting over my depression. You just had to like stab that wound.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Fuck that place.
So before I started working at Brooklyn's Best, I applied at Esther's Downtown Kitchen in June. And I had to call relentlessly to get, like, the GM was like, come on down and talk to the wait manager or whatever. Well, he would tell me to come down and talk to him. The guy was never there. So finally, the GM, whose name was Keith, took to me. I met the head chef. I can't remember his name, but he's the head chef everyone's scared of, but he was like super cool with me. And they're like, come back and we'll do like an audition. And this is a new thing that a lot of restaurants are doing. I think this is so stupid. Come down, do an audition. So of course I've got like 15 years serving experience. So I'm like shadowing this server named Steven, super gay, because I've never met a straight Steven. And we and Steven. So he's carrying the water pitcher, which they're super bougie. And I say that as a compliment because everything's like handcrafted and they get it from local suppliers. So they've got these clay water jugs.
Yes, I love them. I wanted to steal them.
I know. They're like, and they're heavy as shit. I'm like, my arm's going to look great. I'm dressed really cute. I'm following Steven around. I'm filling stuff up. I'm just taking it upon myself. And he's just like, it's like my last day. And I can't believe they're making me like do your audition, but just follow me. And so like, I start asking him questions. And I'm like, listen, just level with me. What do I have to know? He's like, oh, okay, cool. You have a brain. That guy sucks. He's an asshole, blah, 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 blah. But you can make like $2,000 a week with your hourly and the tips. If I actually stay,
damn,
that's what I would make. And so I'm like, done. But the food is like, it's like $30 for like just their sourdough and extra for the spreads, and people pay it. They're always packed. So I'm kind of like, I've got this. I'm dressed really nice. I have experience. Cool. So Steven walks up. He's like, he's great. He's fine. Hire him. I had a reference from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I had a reference from someone who was friends with the GM. The GM hands me off to the managing manager, or the front of house manager, named Dave. Should have known that was going to be a problem, that name alone. And fucking Dave, who needed a brush, by the way. Just hair just was everywhere. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't have like your resume. I go, that's weird. I sent it to you guys and I brought it in. And so he goes, okay, cool. Well, and they pay you for the audition. So I got paid like $30. And he goes, cool. Gives me the money. And then goes, just send me like your resume and stuff, and then I'll get back to you. Email it to me. He goes to get up, and I go, excuse me. No. Because I sent it to a different manager that they told me to send it to, whose name was, it was something. So I was like, I hate that name, and this is going to be bad. It was something super, it was something artsy.
Oh.
And it was a female manager. And I'll remember it when we're done recording. I know it. So I go, I was told to send it to her, and she never got back to me. X, Y, and Z. Can you sit here and I'll send it to you and I'll make sure you got it. So he received it. And then I said, I just got to give 2 weeks notice because I'm the general manager of a chain of stores and I can't leave them. I just can't leave, you know?
Yeah, that's fucked up. You don't want to do that.
GM Keith said that was fine. Not a big deal. And then I didn't hear back for a fucking week. And they finally got back to me and said, oh, after I called them, I had to call them. They went, we went with someone who could start right away. And I went,
and you weren't going to tell me?
Yeah. I go, well, let's see here. I could have started in a week if you had told me at the time of the audition, or I don't know if you talked to me a month ago when I had been trying to get the audition. So that was fun. Yeah. And then they put the job on Indeed after they told me no. And then I applied again and they ignored me. So I'm just going to keep applying because the place is always packed.
And it's really good food.
That's what all of my friends say.
It's amazing food.
I really liked the atmosphere. So currently I work at Brooklyn's Best and we're always packed there too. But it's just like, it doesn't hurt to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. Like, no shade on them because honestly, the GM was amazing. And the chef, who everyone's like terrified of, super friendly, like really, really nice to me. So, and I like the atmosphere and I have friends who work there too. So
I feel like you fit in really well there too. I've been there 3 times and I want to go back because I've only been with my ex. And I want to go and just have a memory of just eating really good food without her. So.
When was the last time you were there?
Oh, it would have been like 2 years ago.
Oh, you haven't been back since they moved. So they moved
no.
Bigger building.
Oh, hell yeah.
So nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so when you come out again, we'll update night and we'll go.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
Hell yeah. I'll be like,
okay.
Where's Dave? That's what I'm going to say.
Where the fuck is Dave? Where is he?
Anyways, okay. So, Contrario.
With your bread in your hand. Where's Dave?
Where's Dave? I'm not paying for the sourdough. Anyways. Because where I work now, it's just the Wild West, dude. It's a pizzeria. It's just like, and I work with a bunch of New Yorkers. So I work with like real Italians. And it's just like, I need this. You can go fuck yourself. It's really funny. It's hysterical.
It's like The Bear.
I haven't seen The Bear yet.
Oh, you need to watch The Bear. It's really good. You, of all people, need to watch The Bear. You work in the industry.
I know. Maybe I don't want to be stuck doing work stuff on my free time, Amen. Okay.
All
That's
right.
why I don't do porn. I don't want to like. Everyone's like, you should do an OnlyFans. I go, oh, great, something else to monetize, like something else. I'm like, I don't even want to do this. It's work now. But so Lena makes a scene at lesbian brunch.
Yes. Yes.
And basically lets it be known that she knows that Howie's her father, and so Howie has to chase her down and explain that he's not her father, that some other jerk that's like owns a gallery and was her photography teacher knocked up Hadley. And
Yes.
and I'm just kind of like, here we go.
Matteo Fossi. That's the only name I remember the entire show.
Really? Oh, that's so funny because I didn't remember, and I should have because his name was Fosse. Like, just like what the fucking was it, Cabaret? I should have remembered that. I should have. My gay ass should have remembered that name. It's like not knowing who Patti LuPone is. So she's like, we now know she's gonna go hunt down her father, even though like everyone's kind of advising her not to. And she's going to Florence to go to his gallery. And oh my God, Lorenzo's going to Florence for his test. So they're gonna spend the day together.
How long's that train ride, by the way?
I don't know. It was long enough that on the way back they slept, like he slept on her shoulder really uncomfortably.
Yes. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, like the positioning, it was just like, oh, like
it's about an hour and a half, sometimes longer. Like so I don't know why I Googled this, but yeah, most of the rides are an hour and a half. But then there's some that are like 3 hours, so I don't know why that.
I feel like it had to have been an hour and a half in the movie because they look like they spent a lot of time in Florence walking around before his test.
Yeah.
And he brings with him, he's allowed to bring one pre-made item, and he brings the gelato because it's his grandmother's recipe, his Nona's recipe. And I'm like, smart. And then he gives her the gelato and says he has more for the testing, which turns out to be a lie. So it's like he really likes her and gives her the gelato, and she's like, "What's the secret ingredient?" And he's like, "You'll know it. You'll when you know it, you'll know it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's love."
And it's love or cum. We don't know which.
It's love, yeah. And she's a virgin, so she's not gonna know. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of But she eats it, and I'm like, "Great, that gelato on the train would go right through me. I'd be in the bathroom." I'd be shitting out the store.
Like, that's when she finds out she's lactose intolerant and just like shits herself.
Love and lactate. Oh my God. Oh wow. Oh, why are we single?
No one knows.
No one knows. So she's on the hunt for Fosse. That's a great name for a book. On the hunt for Fosse.
Right?
And he goes to his test, but before he leaves, he tells her, like, listen, like, if he doesn't accept you, that's on him. And then she goes, and if they don't accept you, do what comes naturally to you. Be different.
Yeah.
And we find out that's the worst advice ever because her dipshit sperm donor doesn't want her.
No.
Doesn't even want to see her. And he fails his test.
Because he didn't have the gelato.
He didn't have the gelato, and then he did everything backwards. And I know. Listen, I know. For the two people, one of whom is going to be my mother, who is going to watch this. Be true to yourself. Yeah. Sometimes you got to conform to get your foot in the door, and then make changes from within. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I love how Lena storms through the gallery. She's in flats, mind you, because she's so amazingly tall that, like, you put her in heels, she towers over everyone. So she's like stomping like a child, like, I'm going to see him. I'm his daughter. And she sees like a portrait of her mother a self-portrait her mom took. And she rips it off the wall. And she leaves with it. And I'm kind of like, the photo
that was like, that was the most entertaining part of the entire show. Like, without trying to be entertaining. Like, that was like the only time I was like, oh, wow.
Are you sure? I don't know. I was very entertained by the mainframe perfume commercial chase.
That was entertaining, but like I feel like that was like this whole scene was entertaining because it was the only time I felt like out of the entire show that there was actually like feeling and emotion.
Oh yes.
Like it was actually for real, like acting. Whereas the rest of it is like, what the fuck is going on?
The plot twist is like that was all real. Like that actress had never met her father, and they brought him in to play Fosse.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We got a surprise for you today. We're gonna get super method. In the book, mom didn't die of cancer. The actress's mom died of cancer. So they're like, we really want to bring out the emotion in her. You know,
Exactly.
I would slap someone so hard. Well, Screech and not Anne Hathaway meet back up at the train station, and he bombed, and she's an orphan. And they get on the train and sleep awkwardly on each other, and they go back. We find out what the deal is with Lorenzo and Georgina. Where is she going, Ammon?
She's gonna go be a motocross vampire or whatever the fuck she is.
Yeah,
she's going to a motocross championship school thing, and for why?
For why?
For
what'd you call it? The writing program? Of course, the writing program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he failed his test. She's an orphan. They ride back.
They kiss.
They kiss. It looked awkward. Georgina is gonna move away. He's like, oh, long distance. I don't know. And she's just like, that's it. I'm going back to the States. She's leaving.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. She's like, I'm done. Fuck this.
Done. Oh, we did forget, like when they came back from lesbian brunch, Alessandro was just like hanging out at Francesca's like doorstep.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And she's like, go away. I can't trust you. And he's like, I don't put myself up to you. And I'm like, who let you in? Like,
how'd you get here?
Yeah, like Francesca lives in like this marble encased estate, and he's just sitting on the staircase. And like, what's going on here? Like, get out of here, bro. So she's gonna leave. But
the only character worth a damn shows back up.
Yes, Addie.
Addie shows up, which we needed. Which you were right. We needed this entire time. Like, why? Why?
Yeah.
I almost wish those two characters switched. It would have been far more entertaining and far more believable.
The movie would have been done in a half hour, Ammon. If it had been Addie, she would have cut through the bullshit.
You're right. Okay.
I identified with her. She was all about the food and the men. She's like, show me the Italian boys. Where can I get this? Because she's eating one of the pastries, and she's like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But somehow Howie. I will say this: the movie's trash, right? But they do I would ask a question, they would answer it as if I was listening.
Right.
I'm like, how do they know to get Addie out here? And like Francesca pops in and goes, oh, by the way, your mother left emergency contact. And Addie's at the top. So Howie got her out here. I go, Howie, who's a professor, is like, yo, girl I've never met before, fly out to Italy. Like that's how people get traffic. Okay. And she's a cute girl. And she just willingly got on the plane.
And just flew out to Italy. Yeah.
She was like, fuck Fleetwood Zach, fuck Brooklyn, because apparently they live in Brooklyn. And I'm like, really? Because neither one of you have a Brooklynite attitude. Like
at all.
Yeah. If Lena was from Brooklyn, that bitch would have been packing and she would have shot Fosse in the gallery. You know?
Exactly.
I'm your daughter. And I'm a soprano. Anyways, so they make this joke. It's so weird and it was so uncomfortable. They're like, oh, because we are family or something like that, or like we're here for each other. And they look at Howie and they go, and how? And I went, what? No.
Yeah, I remember that. And I was like, because I watched it in 2 parts. So I watched that the next day and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And then he's just like at the bottom of the staircase, like sitcom dad. And they're like, and how? And I was like, I'm done. I'm only going to finish this movie because we're so close. I'm
right.
Like, okay. So Addie convinces not Anne Hathaway to go to Alessandro's big party, right?
Yes.
Oh, we completely buried the plot. Why Screech hates Freddie the Twink? remember they're in Florence. They're going for
Yeah.
the test. They're going to go meet her father, and she asks, "What's up with you and Alessandro? Would you like to go over this?" Because
I only vaguely remember it, so I think you should tell it.
okay, where it was basically like, "Why do you guys hate each other?" And he was like, "Oh, this guy called this other guy who we never see. It's an off-screen thing. There's not even a flashback. Like, oh, Jake called my mother's the D word." And,
oh, that's right. That's right.
And Alessandro stood there and he said nothing. And I went,
That's it.
I've had some of my best friends go, I had some of my best friends wish death upon me. And I'm like, Sean will get over it. You know?
Yeah, like it was, yeah, I remember sitting there like, really? Because like you, after the whole Addie showing up thing, I was like over it.
And how?
And yeah, and how. And how. But I remember like really that's the reason they hate each other. That's the reason.
Yeah. I mean
because some unknown time ago, a mutual friend called them the D word, the Dykes.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't stand up for my mother's. Bitch, why didn't you stand up for him?
Yeah. I'm just like, you're like a whole head taller than this twink.
Right.
You know, like,
mm-hmm.
Why don't you just get Nona? She would have beaten them up, you know? Get your grandma. So, yeah, so Addie convinces, because she's still in touch with Alessandro because she's controlling the fake social media for Lena, convinces Lena, she's like, I gotta see boys. I gotta see this hot guy. I gotta see this. And I'm like, okay, I like her. Let's go. Let's make bad decisions. So they go to this house party and they don't get far.
No, like they literally like walked in and left.
They didn't even walk in him, and they like walked up the driveway, and he sees her, and then he's like, "You came," and then out of fucking nowhere, Georgina pops up.
That's right.
And Addie's gone because Addie's like, "Ooh, boys," and runs off. And I'm like, "That's me, spirit animal. Like, bye, see you later." Alessandra's just like Georgina goes, oh, this girl right here, blah, blah, blah. She basically accuses Lena of coming after her man and then convincing him to go and apply to the school in Paris, this culinary school in Paris. He's gonna try it and he's gonna take the big leap because he didn't get into the other school. And then like Alessandra goes, see, look, like you had a thing with Lorenzo and, you know, we are made for each other. And now he's like, oh, you're a cheating piece of shit. And right. I'm a cheating piece of shit. And she's just like, no, that is not even what happened. And I'm kind of like on Lena's, I'm on Lena's side because it's like, no, y'all got girlfriends and shit. And
yeah, fuck all y'all.
Yeah, even Addie's running off. She's got Fleetwood Zach at home. And she's chasing after all these Italian boys, because I guess if it's a whole different continent, it's okay. Which,
well, I mean, my view is that if it's a different zip code, it's okay.
Oh, fantastic! See, that's why you got a girlfriend.
I mean, to be fair, she was cheating on me in the same zip code, but you know. Whatever.
Oh, right. See, you should have just been like, no, different zip code.
Yeah, right. That was the rule. You got to be in a different zip code.
She could just be like, I have auditory dyslexia. So now Lena is like, I gotta go find Italian Screech.
Screech, yep.
Yep,
she overcomes her fear of the Vespa. And her and Addie get on the Vespa, and they have a wild 13-kilometer-per-hour ride through Italy to the train station.
Through the roundabout. The roundabout is
through the roundabout. Yes,
There's one roundabout I know of here in Vegas that I've taken. It's in the medical district. It scared the bejesus out of me. So I can only imagine being on a Vespa. And I was in a Nissan Cube. I would have rather been on a Vespa. It was a company car. Leave me alone. It was free.
Right. Okay. That makes more sense. Who would buy that?
Don't judge me. Rogue Toys, apparently. So they do the roundabout, which is actually really hysterical because Lena's yelling at Addie, I need you to tell me where to go. And Addie's holding the phone.
Yeah.
Like, that was real. These two had really good, yeah. These two had really good chemistry. And so I was like, we needed Addie on the whole trip, you know?
Yeah.
So they get to the airport and they or the train station somewhere where he's gonna fast travel somewhere to a different video game. And he's outside. How convenient. They pull up and he's there.
Yeah, because that's how it works in real life.
Yeah. And she friend zones him so fucking hard. My balls retracted into my stomach. He's hopeful. He's packing up his bag and he's thinking like she's come to confess her love to me. And we're all thinking it too, because this has been leading up. Georgina's out of the way. Italian Freddie Prinze Jr.'s out of the way. Nona loves Lena because she discovered that the 5th ingredient was cum in gelato. And so she gets up and she goes, I just want to let you know. And then she I don't remember what she says because I got tunnel vision. She basically was like, I wish you the best. Basically, not dead.
Yeah, I don't regret kissing you, and I hope you do well in Paris.
Yeah, my mom sent me out here to find myself. And I went, you bitch. And his face falls and he collects himself. He's like, okay, ciao.
And just takes off into the night. And that's the end of that story.
They were like, we got 10 minutes left, wrap up the plots. And so that's basically the story, is that Hadley, the mom, sent Lena out to go find herself through Hadley's misadventures, through this diary and yada, yada, yada. And then we get introduced to the plot of, oh, there's a lock and then there's a key. And if you join the lock and the key together, because there's that place in Italy where it's the bridge and everyone has their padlocks. If you find the key, it's everlasting love, whatever. So now that's introduced. And she unlocks the padlock and brings the lock and the key to Howie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Because on the other side is Howie's name. So, and he's like, okay, I'd like to be your dad, even if that means
yeah, I want to be your adoptive dad, and I'm totally not going to groom you. And I'm like, dude, at this point, I'm so done. I was so done with this fucking movie.
I know. I was like, just fuck and get it over with. Because he's like, I care too much, about you. I care so much I'd hurt guys who mistreat you. I go, really? Because Alessandro's walking around. Lorenzo didn't say that he had a girlfriend. Fuck. And she decides to defer a year.
Defer a year and stay in Italy, because
I wouldn't fucking go back to the States. My mom's dead.
Yeah, what the fuck? What's there?
Yeah, Addie's there in Brooklyn, but I'd just rather stay in Italy with Francesca and Howie. What's the point of going back? Unless I own the house. But
even then,
turn it into Airbnb,
Yeah.
So she defers a year, and then we flash forward. It's a year later, and now she has an A-line bob cut, because now that's the hairdo of the woman who's empowered now.
She did. It was so bad. When it came up, I was like, oh, so she's a lesbian now. Perfect.
I was like, oh wow. Okay, denim jacket, heard, got it. She's taking photos on her mom's camera, and then I'm like, okay. And she goes up to the Not Glory Hole Bakery, and
Glory Hole. That's a good bakery name.
There's no glory holes here. It's just a bakery. Anyways, but instead of a penis, it's a baguette through the hole, and you have to munch.
You can munch on the baguette through the hole. I like this plan. This is a good business plan.
If you say that too fast, they're going to think it's something else that you're saying. So she goes up and she's like, there's a sign saying it's for lease. And she's like,
Mhm.
no. And she mentions the woman's name. And I'm like, wait a minute. You've been here a whole year. Did you not go back for more pastries, even though you loved this woman's pastries? That's kind of fucked. Like, maybe she
Yeah,
went out of business because you never paid for anything, you know? And
yeah,
who
yeah.
showed up? Italian Screech,
Italian Screech.
who with the tan.
Yeah, yeah, and that he got apparently in Paris because there's so much more. There's so much more sun in Paris than there is in Italy.
And he's got like 2 buttons undone on the shirt. And
Because
he's like,
he's
he's all,
cultured and badass now.
yeah, he's suave now. And he shows up on his Vespa and he's like, oh, because apparently in Italy, a lot of the restaurants, from what this character says, don't make their own pastries. They get them from like underground bakeries.
Hmm.
Okay. And they usually don't operate with a license. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so like,
And that's how I got salmonella.
or E. coli, you know, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, like what is this, boar's head? Um,
Topical. I like it. I like it.
right. They're gonna be like, huh? What's going on? So he mentions, oh, rumor has it that like some American girl kept coming by and they caught on and busted her and arrested her and closed down the business. And I honestly thought he was being serious until like he's like, oh no, she retired.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I go, that would have been a dark turn for one of the few characters I liked in this movie.
Right?
She's in prison for like feeding people. Like, okay. And so Lorenzo puts up a sign saying, I just leased it. And the sign's Contrario. Thank God it's a better name than Parmigiana. And
Right.
and yeah, I'm like, so culinary school was only a year. Why did I feel like it was longer? Like you went for a year, now you're back, and you're like, guess what? I'm opening a restaurant. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. And so
Why
like
not?
they kind of like chit chat. And then like Lena still proves that she has no coordination by tripping and falling over her own feet. And then he's like, let's go to my parents' house and like have dinner and et cetera, with my lesbian moms. And
Yeah.
he's like, we'll have to take my Vespa. She's like, no, we'll
We'll
take
take mine. It's like Fast and the Furious with Vespas.
And they show the goat that
Yes.
they almost hit. I don't know why the goat was so important, but okay. And there's no way in hell that goat would still be alive, but okay.
It's only been a year.
Yeah, but I feel like someone would have eaten it by now, or a car would have hit it
Fair.
because it was in the middle of the road.
Fair.
But I will say at the end,
And that's it.
oh no, it's not it, because she goes, hey, I discovered what the 5th ingredient in the gelato was. And then he goes, better late than never, which I think that's the exact wording. It was the same sentiment. And better late than never. And they just laugh. And I'm thinking, listen, we all know it's love or come, but there are some stupid people who are going to watch this movie and they're going to be like, no, wait a minute. What was the 5th ingredient?
Right. Yeah.
Because not even stupid people watching, but people watching who the movie doesn't do a good job of articulating
anything.
So there's someone in the Midwest watching this going, well, now I don't understand. What is the 5th ingredient? Is it paprika? Is it salt? What is it?
Who knows?
Yeah.
No one knows.
It's love.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But it's weird because we only got to the gelato 45 to 50 minutes into the movie, and we didn't get love until the end when Howie was like, I would like to be your father. And she like was like, okay. So
yeah, I'm just so unsatisfied by everything about this.
I was okay. Like, okay, so 1 out of 5 stars. Go ahead. What
1 out of 5. So out of 1 out of 5 being the highest.
Yeah.
This is like half a star.
Half a star.
It gets half a star for the gelato making grandma because it kind of reminded me of my great grandma, and it another like maybe a quarter of a star for the pastry lady. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only redeeming factor about any of this.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was a mess.
I'm gonna give it a 1. That's being generous for the same reasons you did, but I'll even toss in Francesca because she was fun.
Fair. She was fun.
She was fun. The lead actress tried really hard to make this material work. It's not her fault.
And see, I don't think we made a lot of fun, and I want to say something. I don't think it's any of the actors or actresses in the movie that made it bad.
Yeah,
It was conceptually bad. We could have had anybody in this movie, and it would have been fucking awful.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think the great and powerful Meryl could have made this work.
Meryl couldn't save this.
Yeah, and she made Mamma Mia work.
She did.
So I know. But I will say I also, there were little things. I appreciate the scene where she's crying to the bakery lady, like, and then she was like, the lead actress was not afraid to like make herself look ugly with some choices. Like she totally made a fool out of herself and just threw herself into the role. Like when she's eating the spaghetti and she crosses her eyes, it was so over the top, but I was kind of like, I appreciate the choice.
Yeah.
And then reading the diary and yelling at her dead mom, like, oh,
Yeah,
good for
that's
you.
pretty good.
She had
Good for you, Mom. Glad you're getting laid.
I also enjoyed that, like, they did for a lot of the movie speak Italian.
Fair, albeit terrible Italian, but
yeah, but at least like it was like,
tried.
oh, everyone in Italy speaks English,
right?
So I'll give it. And Addie, the best friend, Addie.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll bump it up to a whole star because of Addie.
Yeah,
that's another half a star at least.
Yeah, those girls carried it. So, but everything else, the movie was too long, had too many plot points, and it felt like it was just like kind of a rip off of every other Under the Tuscan Sun, Mamma Mia, Eat, Pray, Love, just kind of
just all those. Yeah, even some American early 2000s rom-coms.
Yeah. She's all that. She's not
She's
Italian.
all that. Yes, that. Yeah, She's All That in Italy. There was some. I'm trying to remember the one. There was some stuff from. Fuck, what is it? Freddie Prinze Jr.'s in it. Is it She's All That? A Walk to Remember.
That was Shane West. That was not Freddie Prinze Jr.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter. Shane West really cultivated my masturbatory teenage years. Okay, not Freddie Prinze Jr. How fucking dare you?
My bad.
I really do feel like this movie was missing just one musical sequence, like just to send it right over the top. If we're gonna be like do every trope, there should have been a karaoke scene, or just like I'm putting on my MP3 player and singing Paula Cole, I Don't Want to Wait. Like I literally would have died laughing if we had seen that. But
exactly.
Yeah, like okay, favorite character for you was Grandma?
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, but she played such a small role. I mean, we really only saw her twice.
Maybe if it's your favorite, pick it.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. But if we're requiring more than being in more than one scene, it'd probably be Addie.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with Addie. But I will say my favorite character was Pastry Chef.
Yeah.
So the old woman ruled in this movie. Least favorite character, most hated character. I'll let you go.
That's hard though. That's a harder question. The least favorite character.
Mine's completely different from yours. I already know it.
The least favorite character. God, I kind of hate them all.
Pick the one.
My least favorite character, though. My initial thought was to say the main character is my least favorite, but I think that's just because of the way the story is. My least favorite character, if we're taking into account the actual person that's playing them, the way they acted, and the obvious just train wreck of a plot that we have is going to be Italian Freddie Prinze Jr. He's shit. He's not good. He's not good.
No, he's pretty, but no. Not good at all. I will say my no takesies backsies. My least favorite character, my most hated character is the mom. We never see the mom.
The mom who died of cancer?
The mom who died of cancer. I'm so sorry because if she had, I don't know, just talked to her fucking daughter in the 18 years she was alive, maybe her daughter would have had a life, been like confident. I don't, like they say that they had a really good relationship, but did you? Like your mom kept a lot of secrets.
Yeah.
Like about like your parentage and like your whole, like you guys could have vacationed in Italy and visited Aunt Francesca and your stepdad Howie. Like your mom like willingly chose to be like alone. Now you don't get to learn nothing about me. I'm gonna give up photography because your dad was my professor. That I'm like, what?
Because your dad was a bastard. No,
yeah,
we're not going back to Italy.
Right? Although, could you imagine her name would have been Lena Fosse? That's amazing. I would have been pissed off if my mom kept that from me.
Yeah, I would have been pissed off too. What was her name? Did we ever learn the actual last name?
No, I can look up the cast right now because sometimes they'll have it listed.
No, it wasn't. I already looked.
You already just like you looked up the train ride to Florence.
Yes.
Computer enhance. Got it.
Enhance.
Close out Pornhub. What are you doing, Ammon? Let's go.
Oh, sorry. All right. My bad.
That's why your background's blurry, so no reflections.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with this fucking camera, you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway.
Right? It's just like the Spice Channel, so like whatever.
Yes.
I know. I can't wait to see what background you use next time. It's so funny.
Let's see what we got. Oh, we only have the two. Oh my god, I can upload about a background.
You should upload a background from Love and Gelato. It's just you in the brunch cabin. No, it's you in the mainframe. The opera mainframe.
Hold up. This is gonna be good. Upload background. Desktop. There it is. Open. Save background.
Stop. I mean, that doesn't work. Then you're on the couch.
Shit, you're right. Okay, fine.
Brick wall. With the same Valentine's Day massacre. What's going on?
Backgrounds.
Sometimes somehow the background has made you look less pale.
Oh, well, that's good. At least I got that going for me. Should have done that before.
I know.
All right, here, we'll do another one here. Oh, that's the same one.
I do like the couch one. That's funny.
Yeah, I thought that was a good touch. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but oh, that is not the background we want.
Oh, what is it?
It was like tax information.
That would be hysterical, though.
Wait, where'd this go? Why isn't that showing up?
Hold on.
I'm in a Monet.
1 second. I'm not. I have. Oh, ooh, that actually look. You should use this for this whole thing. That would have fit.
Oh,
that actually looks good, but it's so funny. If you use that as your dating profile pic, I'd laugh my ass off. This is great. This is hysterical, and awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up right now. Thank you for listening to. I think we are still shorter than Love and Gelato.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, by like a little bit, and we managed to fit in like what 5 side stories.
Yeah,
that were way more interesting. So thank you for watching. Tommy watches it. I'm Tommy.
I'm Ammon.
Is it Ammon? Because I was going off of your Facebook. I called you Ammon the whole time.
It's fine.
No, it's not fine. Which one is it? Because I was like, oh, I thought it was.
It's actually Ammon.
Oh,
I'm kidding. It's Ammon.
Amen.
Everyone calls me something a little bit different, so I'm just like.
Well, you guys have to remember also, I've only met this dude once, and we've been social media friends since. And the friend that introduced us, I don't even talk to anymore.
Oh, wait, who introduced us? I don't even remember.
Dave Broderick.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit. Yeah, he still cuts my hair.
That's what I was like.
I did this.
I was like, fucking Dave.
Fucking Dave.
No, don't let him know that I did. Don't let him know we did this. I don't even think he knows I'm not talking to him anymore. So
I don't think he cares.
That I just kind of like.
But that's not a diss on you. That's just Dave. He just
I was literally like Lorenzo leaving for Paris. I just disappeared into the night.
Dave's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I literally was like, you know, his father passed away years ago, and we grew up together back home. And my mom was really sick in the hospital, and I was asking him as like one of my close friends, like for, hey, like solace, and how do you? Because we were really thinking my mom was gonna pass, and so I was like, I've never been through this before. Like, can you call me back? Because I think he was busy at a party, and he was like, yeah, I'll call you back. And then I never heard from him. That was the last time I talked to him. I never heard from him. He never was like, hey, how's your mom? Like, what's going on? Yeah. And we've known each other since like freshman year of high school. So it's kind of like, okay, well, fuck me, I guess.
Well, here's my question, Tommy. Why would you ask a Marine how you deal with solace? How do you deal with trauma?
Because
I feel like this is your fault.
You know what? Isn't it always? It is always my fault. It's
not to victim blame, but
it's my fault. If I didn't ask you, Ammon, to be on my podcast with me, I would not have had to have sit through Love and Gelato.
Yeah.
This was my fault. I let you.
This is all your fault.
This is all my fault. Yeah, everything's my fault. Oh my god. Like I can't. Yeah, everything. You know.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah, you know, the economy, my fault. Healthcare,
100% your fault.
My fault. It's all everything's my fault.
Anyway.
All right. Well, now, yeah. So like, I've only met this dude once, and he's hysterical. So that's why I'm like, hey, this is great.
And we'll watch terrible movies together.
I know it'll be great. It's gonna be awesome. And send me your weight loss photos. That's great.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot. I did send you those. Huh?
I know, it's my screensaver for.
Oh god. Oh no.
Why were you taking that side profile naked shot? Was it really to be like, I look good? Or was it like, I'm sending this to a chick, you know?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I was just, because like, sir, I've taken photos like that. There's just like enough like left to the imagination where I was like,
Well, I cropped it too.
I mean.
So there's an uncropped version out there. And if you're good, if you're really good, I'll let you see it.
My birthday's in January, but Christmas. Yes, Ammon. Yes, I would like to see your uncropped photos. Thank you. So, I mean, if you can't share your nudes with your gay friend, like who can you share your nudes with?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, no, get better lighting. I'm gonna tell you, like right now, get a better camera.
Yeah, for sure. Better camera, better audio. How is my audio, by the way?
Your audio is perfect. Your audio is fine.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they're beat, so, you know, hopefully they're good.
No, and the camera's not bad either. It's actually really funny. You can see the progression. We do more videos. This will be like, oh my God, this is so funny. So we'll nail it down the reviews, but I'm kind of taking my cue from other reviewers that I watch who like review videos and the banter and stuff. And I'm like, whatever, you know, I'm not gonna be like, it has to be under 43 minutes. Hey, if we watch a movie and it takes us a half hour to talk about it, cool. This one had a lot of shit we needed to take out on it. So
I told my therapist about this movie.
Did you really?
This movie came up in therapy.
Did it really?
It really did.
Oh my God, dude. How? I gotta, like, I'm sorry. Chase, I'm almost done. I promise you. Did you hear Chase?
I barely heard him. What he say?
He goes, you never come to any of my games, which is so funny because isn't that what you told me you said to your ex-girlfriend?
I did, like verbatim. Verbatim.
I'm going to that stupid Halloween party on Saturday for you. Shut up. He's hosting and he's scared to host.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
No, it came up because we were talking about bad relationships and how bad relationships are a lot like bad movies. And I was like, oh my God, speaking of bad movies, I I watched the worst one about a terrible relationship.
5 terrible relationships.
Yes.
Her mother, Howie, her sperm donor, Lorenzo, and Alessandro.
Yes, it was a train wreck.
Is your therapist a man or a woman?
Oh, it's a woman.
Oh God, I hope she went and watched it. And I hope she's sitting there going, Ammon doesn't know what he's talking about.
She's gonna fire me as a client because she's like, that was the greatest movie ever.
No, she's gonna be like, I can't see you for the next month. I'm going to Italy to find myself. I need to know what was the 5th ingredient.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's.
Is this movie gonna be like The Ring? Like, we watched it, you told your therapist, now she's gonna go watch it, and then she's gonna tell, because you know therapists have their own therapist. She's gonna tell her therapist.
And it's just gonna go up the chain.
Right.
We're gonna accidentally make this like one of the top 10 movies on Netflix.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Anne Hathaway and Italian Freddie Prinze Jr. They're gonna be like, those 2 gay guys. And like, he's not gay. He's just Italian and Irish. Well, I really hope your ex stumbles upon this. And she's like, what? Different zip codes? I'm sorry. Take me back.
I'm going to send it to her. I have a number she doesn't know about. I'm going to send it to her.
Oh my God.
You're like, wait, isn't this your ex?
I swear to God, if I get a message from Dave going, you haven't been talking to me, I'm like, dude, it's been like 5 years. I used to message you on every birthday. Yeah. No. What are you playing with? What is that?
It's this goo. It's like this gel.
Oh. Uh-huh.
And you put it in your keyboard and it gets like all the tears and stuff out.
Oh, yeah, I could use one of those.
There's a beard hair that was stuck in it, so I was like trying to get it out and it didn't work.
Why is there beard hair in your keyboard? No shit, but why why are you shedding everywhere?
There's beard hair everywhere, man. Everywhere.
I don't want to know. It's already bad enough I didn't get to see the uncropped photo. So
your birthday is coming up. Christmas is coming up. You know, if you're a good boy.
I'm always a good boy, except when I'm forced to watch these movies. But it's okay, because guess what, guys? We are going to watch Pretty Little Stalker, and I've already seen it. I'm going to watch it again because I laughed my ass off. I laughed way harder through the movie than was intended. It's supposed to be a serious stalker film. And
holy shit, I found it.
You found, yeah. And all I will say is
7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. And
that is incredible.
That is amazing. And I will just say, like, there is a big name in it. Heather Morris from Glee. She's in it. Playing a badass publicist. I was like, girl, this is not it. This is not the hill to die on. Go back to Glee. Call Ryan Murphy and apologize for whatever it is you did wrong.
It's included with Prime. We're so watching this.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for you to be like, what? I laughed a lot because the acting, this Love and Gelato had some actors who were just trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Pretty Little Stalker, no, Pretty Little Stalker did not. Like, the lead actress tries, but even her face is like, what the fuck?
Okay. You know? I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
All right.
Next week we'll find out our schedule. We'll refilm because we can do it whatever. I'm up late, you're up late, so
yeah. It works.
Let's hop on.
It might be better to do it if I'm like 2 or 3 drinks in anyway.
Oh my God, yes. Especially if it gets super fucking gay. Hell yeah. I'm like, someone bring me some gummies. You're drunk and I'm on a gummy and I have an existential crisis where you're like, here's my penis. And I'm like, oh wow.
We're going to have to take it off this stuff and put it on OnlyFans.
I did show I was like, look at what my fucking friend sent me. He knows what he's doing. What a jerk. I go cutting that off. But no, you look incredible. You don't look fat. You look great, bud. And yeah, now Chase is using my bathroom. So we're supposed to go to a pumpkin patch or somewhere. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I feel like leaving the house. I feel like I should. It's spooky season, but I'm kind of like, do I want to spend money? Like I went to the grocery store.
Fuck me, God, yeah.
I hate the grocery store, dude. I hate it.
Me too.
And here on a free StreamYard, I get 20 free hours of recording.
Okay.
And it resets every month. And like if I run out, I'll just pay for it. Like it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'll edit. I'm not going to edit much because I like when people can see our real personalities. And I don't think we said anything cancelable. But I do worry about one day me being on a set and someone walks up to me like, "Do you know who I am? I'm not Anne Hathaway." And I'm like, no, I'll never get to be Iceman in the X-Men movies. Oh no. And then, but I would love it if she's like, "No, that movie was trash. But did you really think my boobs were great?" But like, yes, your rack was magnificent, honey.
They're magnificent. Everyone loved it.
Again, beautiful girl. Tried to make the movie work. As an actor, I can appreciate you tried. There was no
100%.
There was no saving it. Maybe the soundtrack of ABBA, but alas, all the money went to the gelato.
Yeah. Fuck.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Ammon, thank you so much for joining me. And next up on episode 2, we will be watching Pretty Little Stalker. Have a good night, guys.
Amazing. Good night, guys.
Because my pastry doesn't have a penis.